I think this might be an unlock one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how funny we are.
Maybe not then.
Be funny right now. Do something funny.
You can't see what I'm doing, but it's hilarious.
Hello!
Hello!
Welcome to I Hate Your Movie. You are our Patreon, and here's our reward for you this month. Your reward is our torture.
Yes.
The convoluted mess of picking a random movie.
Yep. High tech way we did it with technology and dice.
Technology and dice and my own brain. We watched Halloween 2. Which Halloween 2? There's 5 Halloween 2s.
You made it sound like that was the tagline for the film. Halloween. Which Halloween? I don't know.
Might as well be. It should be Halloween. It's just another one of those.
Halloween. This isn't the franchise with Freddy or Jason.
Halloween. Shrug emoji. That's my one sentence review. I hope they put that on the poster. Just the shrug emoji.
I'd like to see them go through all of the different holidays.
Like
Halloween. Now it's Easter.
They need to branch out a bit. It's too restrictive.
Halloween. President's Day. He's wearing a Abe Lincoln mask.
Social commentary.
Is it? I don't think it is.
It could be.
Giant Easter bunny costume. Just bouncing around, stabbing people.
That is horrifying.
Yeah?
Yeah. A giant Easter bunny that's killing people with like a human face.
Like Winnie the Pooh. Like the Winnie the Pooh film. Blood and Honey.
So we watched
We're doing absolutely anything we can to avoid talking about this film.
Halloween 2. So let me do a little breakdown of the Halloween franchise. This is what I'm mostly looking forward to.
Yeah, we will share the image of this on our
Yeah.
Patreon somewhere if you get a chance to have a look.
And also it's on the Wikipedia of Halloween.
Mhm.
It's very helpful, but it's very unhelpful at the same time. So, Halloween, 1978. Wonderful movie. Very simple.
Is it a wonderful movie?
It is very good.
Okay.
You might not like it in a way where you don't like movies where it has a lot of tropes, but it's set up those tropes.
Okay.
Very fresh at the time. A lot of the best things are in the first one and ruined in all the other movies, which is Michael Myers is a motivationless killer. There's no like, oh, it's my secret family, this and that. And that's why there's 100 remakes as well, because they go back and forth whether he's related or not
Related.
to Laurie Strode,
Okay.
the main character. But the first one is very pure. It's just a guy who's just coming for you. Halloween 2 picked up immediately after the first one ended. This is what the one that introduces all the family connections.
Okay.
And this is why people don't like it as much. And then Halloween 3, which is my favorite one. I love Halloween 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. You notice on the chart it has no connection to anything.
No, it's just sitting there on its own.
It has no Michael Myers, no nothing. They had a great idea. And if we live in that timeline, we would have so many great movies, I think. So the idea was to make it an anthology series where it's not a slasher every time. It's a different horror story every time.
Okay.
But no one liked that.
No.
Even though that's probably the best movie out of the whole bunch.
I think if you're going to start an anthology series, you don't start with the
Third
prequel of a already built up franchise.
Yeah.
Or at least don't call it Halloween 3. Call it The New Bear.
The new Burr. The new Boo.
Wow.
The bad guy in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch
Yeah.
is drunk Irish people.
Right. Is it St. Patrick's Day? Is it Halloween St. Patrick's Day?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes. See? Now we're on the same page.
So this might be the first movie franchise ever that I know of that had a soft reboot, even before that term was known. Because they do Halloween for the return of Michael Myers. Guess what happens in that?
Michael Myers returns.
Yeah, a lightning strikes his grave. And he returns.
Wow.
Yeah, we're a bit far removed from the simple there's a guy killer. Halloween 5 there's nothing to say, but these do go down with quality more and more. Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers has Paul Rudd
Really?
in a non-comedic role. That's probably the worst one. And then let's reboot it again, but now a full reboot, kind of, from the perspective that Halloween 2 happened and nothing else happened.
Yeah.
Right? So then they do Halloween H2O 20 years later, that has Jamie Lee Curtis back, and Halloween Resurrection, which has Busta Rhymes, and early 2002 webcam technology that they used to catch Michael Myers.
Okay.
Webcam and streaming in 2002. So
Yep.
I wish we'd seen that. So they just killed it all. Let's do a full reboot. So Rob Zombie did Halloween in 2007,
Yep.
and then our favorite, Halloween 2 in 2009. That died, and then they rebooted it again. Now, from the perspective of what happens if the first movie happened, the first Halloween, and nothing else happened. Right? So, again, we're back to the point where he's just a mindless killer who has no connection to anyone else. And then these are the most recent ones, the Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. The mess of this franchise is astonishing. The pre-knowledge you have to go in to, I don't know, watch Halloween Kills. Okay, it's the second movie in the reboot that ignores all the other ones except the first one, right?
Yeah. I don't think with many horror films, sequels or otherwise, you need any prior knowledge of anything. There's a guy, he's trying to kill people, girls are running away, usually not wearing a lot, they get killed, the guys die, the girl lives at the end. End of story.
But this is why it's extra stupid to do all these, like, a reboot of the second one, they're ignoring the third one. This is why it's extra stupid, because there's a guy who kills people and there's not much to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Rob Zombie film?
I don't think I have. The thing I know Rob Zombie for is his awful redo of The Munsters that I haven't seen, but I've seen trailers of, and it looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, he's fallen off big time.
Well, it's fallen off. When was he good?
The first few movies he's done, House of a Thousand Corpses is really good. Devil's Rejects is really good. And then he did this for money, I think, by the looks of it, because there's no, like, vision or anything. And then he's just gone crazy. He possibly gone COVID crazy, because that's what the monsters look like to me. It's like, let's shoot a movie in my house.
Yeah. Which can be done
with my
if you
phone
do it
camera.
well. I hate horror films at the best of times. Well, that's the strong. I don't hate horror films at the best of times. I like them done well. I like them when they've got a bit of comedy in them. This had nothing but a woman screaming for solid 5 hours.
That's not true. It had 20 seconds of Weird Al, the best part of the movie.
Actually, it was the best part of the
It
movie.
was.
When Weird Al Yankovic is the best part of your horror film,
Yeah.
you've got problems. But there is good news.
Yeah.
Is that we have a new number 4 in my worst films of all time.
For you.
For me, yeah. In my opinion. Yeah, it now goes Suspiria, Catwoman, Chopping Mall, Halloween 2.
Wow. All I can say to that is, oh, you sweet summer child.
What?
You haven't seen nothing yet. I've introduced 2 of your worst favorite films.
Yeah, you've introduced 2 of the worst, and we, during this podcast, has been out of 4. 3 of them have appeared on that list. So,
We're really enriching your movie palette. Introducing you to all these wonderful films.
okay, anyway, let's talk about this. We're still trying to avoid talking about this film. What did you think of the film?
I didn't hate it as much as you, but I've seen a lot worse.
Okay.
So you have to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was more generic than anything, like a generic horror film.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly worse. There's 2 things I kind of liked. One was the score. I thought the score was really good.
Okay.
Even outside of the typical Halloween theme, which is really good. And I thought there was some neat visual stuff. It's just too bad it didn't connect to anything or any of the story, or it didn't make any sense. Some of those dream sequences. The reason you're rolling your eyes, I would roll my eyes too, because they had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
He kind of tried to do kind of a David Lynchian thing, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you do that wrong. Because when David Lynch does it, it's connected to the story, it's connected to your ideas. Here it's connected to nothing. It adds nothing, it takes away nothing, it's just there. Starts with young Michael Myers. I wrote down, don't explain the backstory, boo. That's like horror 101. Don't over-explain your friend.
And what I didn't really understand is they showed this kid, but he's just like a nice kid. You know, he's just like, oh, look, I got a toy horse, yay.
Yeah.
It doesn't say yay, but it's like, oh, I like my horse, it's really nice. And the mum's like, well, you think of me when you look at that horse. And he's like, I will.
And then she
He needs-
steps on the horse.
But yeah, he needs to break the head off or like start picking the legs off of it or something. You know, there's no sinisterness in him. There's no like dead eye kind of, I'm going to take the horse and put it in a vat of oil. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a kid and a horse. Who cares?
Okay, and then we go to the actual hospital
Yes.
20-something years later, or 15 years later. And then I think we pick up from the original movie. The sound effects, I don't know if you noticed, all around, just one of the worst I've ever heard. It's hard to make you understand in a podcast how bad the sound effects were. But it felt like if I bought raspberry trifle, put my finger in it, like...
It's like a silly putty.
Yeah.
That you can.
Yeah, it's
you
like
can
silly
make
putty.
fart.
That was the stabbing sound effect. And also it was recorded so badly that it didn't feel like it was coming from the room. It was not mixed in well. And it was a bit too loud. It was so bad.
Yeah, almost every sound effect on this kind of felt like straight out of Looney Tunes. Like you hear like someone smashed their head in a glass.
Yeah.
And it's proper like.
Yeah, they need to do the pottery sound effect. That would really tie everything together. If everything that crashes in there would be the pottery sound effect, that would make my day. I would love that so much.
You should re-edit the whole film. Just every stab. It's just
She's in hospital. She had horrible comical stitches, like what you would see like on a horror doll.
yeah.
It was like those kind of stitches. It felt like they spent like 5 minutes on makeup because they just put like a big pad on her forehead and just one sellotape down, and it just like folded up on the sides. I'm like, what kind of injury is that? The stitches were like frayed at the end.
Yeah.
Like, because horror. And then Michael Myers comes.
Well, kind of. So, yeah, I mean, this is a good. Yeah, no. What? No, because the dream sequence hasn't started yet. All the stuff with the surgery actually happened, right? I'll tell you for why.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Because now it cuts to the guys are driving his body to the morgue,
Yeah.
and they hit the world's like strongest cow. So here's what the actual timeline is, as I see it.
Yeah.
Right, so Halloween 1 finishes, this film starts. She's really injured, her friend's really injured. They go into hospital, have surgery. Then, while that's happening, they're driving Michael Myers to the morgue,
Yeah.
right? Then the film cuts to the hospital sequence, which makes you think it's happening immediately after, but it's not. The dream sequence is happening a year later. And that's why she wakes up a year later in bed like, woo!
Okay.
So these two things actually happen.
Okay. The cow and the surgeries.
Yes. So it's a superhero cow.
Yeah.
So they're driving along, and the ambulance people they're driving around, they're having a hilarious conversation about necrophilia.
About fucking corpses.
Have you ever tried it? No, I haven't tried it. It seems that who gives a
You
fuck?
should try it.
Yeah, you should try it. Okay. Smash, right? But I kid you not. They filmed it. The cars hit a bollard. Like a proper steel bollard, because the car just stops and bounces back.
It reminds me of that scene in Hancock. Remember Hancock?
Yeah.
When he stops was it a train? Or something like that. It folds up around him.
It's completely bent around him.
Yeah. And the cow is not tipped over. It's still there where it was. A steel cow.
Mike Myers comes out of the car and cuts the guy's head off
Yeah.
with some glass.
Oh, at first the guy is going, fuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
felt
he's
like
fuck, pulling really weird faces, like he's going to be sick and you don't really know what's going on.
And we're struggling to think of what's happening because it's a close-up on his face and he keeps saying fuck, and there's no like insert shot where he's trying to open the door or something.
Yeah.
We eventually figured out that's what's happening. There's no like, at least a sound effect that goes like, yeah. And that goes on for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Straight.
it's really annoying.
Yeah.
At that point, you want him to die.
I have a trivia for you.
Yeah?
Did you know, or can you guess, where does the Michael Myers mask come from?
Inside Out, one of the US presidents.
Nope. It is William Shatner. Spray painted white.
Is it?
Yeah, and the hair is messed up. So, this is where Michael Myers teleports. So for the first time.
This is one of the times that Michael Myers teleports.
It's weird because teleporting is usually a meme for Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise. Because he also, like, shows up at different times. So the dream sequence starts.
Yeah, so he doesn't tell you it's a dream sequence, and this goes on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this film is. It felt like an eternity. But let's say this film's an hour and a half long, potentially, and 20 minutes of that is a dream sequence where he kills everyone in a hospital, and none of it happens.
Yeah.
Which is cheap, it's shit. Why? No.
I feel like that's possibly a studio note. Because you don't watch many modern horror films. That's a very modern horror film problem, which is studios go like, oh, there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening in the first few minutes. Gotta put in some kills. And it's always this. It's always like, there's a dream sequence. They still do it, and it's awful.
So there's so many questions I have about this whole sequence.
Yeah, my question is,
Go on.
why is that 60s song goes on for so long in the
Yeah. Yeah, and it comes up again and again and again,
Yeah.
like it's supposed to mean something.
Everyone's watching that TV.
Yeah, there's only two things I can think about that. One is the song is significant some way, but nobody knows that song.
Yeah.
So no one will understand. And the second thing is he's trying to hint that it's a dream, in that he's playing all the things on the same TVs to try and kind of make you think, well, what's going on here? But
I don't think
maybe
that's
I'm giving him more credit.
I think so. I think it was more like, maybe he thought of it like, oh, does this make sense? Oh, it's fine, it's a dream. I think it was more that way around.
I wouldn't like to, but if I cared, I would look up that song and I would see what the lyrics were, and I would see, what the title of the song was, and maybe it will have a clue. Maybe it's about brotherly, sisterly love or whatever.
I think it was just kind of generic love, and oh, isn't it ironic that...
Don't you think? It's a little too ironic.
Yeah.
It's like fire!
I think the only way it means anything, I would connect it to the end credit sequence where Love Hurts plays in a very slow version of Love Hurts plays. Isn't it ironic that it's all about love? But it isn't about love, so it's nonsense. So I would think the same thing about that stupid song.
The nurse gets stabbed and she appears out of nowhere all shocked, and she's got a cut on her face.
Not even shocked. She just appears like, oh, hello.
But I think the idea is supposed to be that she's in shock.
It didn't come across like that.
No, it doesn't. That's my problem with it. And like she gets cut in the face and she just walks back. It's like, hello. And then Mike Myers comes out and she doesn't fight back. She's only been cut in the face. It's not like she's been stabbed in the gut and she's holding it. She's free arms. She can do anything she wants. But no, she doesn't do anything. She fights back. She just sits there and gets stabbed. Which, by the way, Octavia Spencer plays that part and she's way better than that. Absolutely. The next thing is Laurie's walking down the hall and she goes immediately to her friend's room despite just waking up from a coma. How does she know where her friend is? Why are they on the same ward? That she's stable, her friend's clearly about to die. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Within that, my favourite bit was, it just came to me, one of my favourite laughs in the movie. She's a bad actress. Let's just get that out of the way. And she's like acting like she's hurt, she's dizzy, and she's moaning like a fucking teenager. Like, she's not actually with someone like who's hurt, but like, Mom, my head hurts.
I'm feeling really dizzy.
I'm really dizzy.
Can I sit down? Can I have some candy?
Yeah, it was like that. And the nurse accompanies her for like, it was a long hallway, accompanies her halfway to the hallway. She gets cold. She just leaves her there. She has a cast on and everything. She can barely walk. She just leaves her there. And then she's like, oh, I don't know what to do. And she starts walking back the opposite way again.
Laurie runs, right? Bearing in mind, when she woke up in her room, there was a police officer and another person in her room.
Yeah.
So why hasn't she gone back to her room to the police officer? No, she's run down the stairs Of course, you're going to run down the stairs. You've got a broken leg and your foot's in a massive cast. What a brilliant idea. Right? So she gets to the stairs and there's a woman there and she's had her eyes gouged out and she's hanging off the balcony. Nobody's noticed this, Nobody's noticed the screams and cries of a woman have her eyes taken out.
Oh, yes, everyone knows about that in hospital.
Yeah.
That's the woman hole.
Yeah, this is a completely silent hospital, but no one's noticed it, whatever. At this point, she's trying doors everywhere because doors in hospitals are famously closed in stairways because you don't get to each other floor. It doesn't matter, so don't worry about it. Because you go outside, you don't go outside to the main entrance. No, of course you don't. You go outside to the backyard where the gates are locked, so you can rag all the gates and someone get me out of here. You see a shack. The shack's there. The guy manning the gate. Obviously, it's locked again. Let me out. So you climb through the window. Clearly.
I could forgive a lot of that if the kills were fun,
Yeah.
Because then I would be like, okay, at least they get to die in a horrible way, the stupid people
Yeah.
that we're supposed to like in this movie.
And then Buddy shows up.
Oh, Buddy.
And this is the first time in this film that it happens, and it just, by the end of it, I just hated it so much. It's where Buddy finds her and she's not like, there's a killer coming behind me. He's killed 3 people already. Can you get your car and we'll go quickly, please? She's like, no, I don't want to. There's a guy in his face. And the guy's like, what the fuck? The fuck are you talking about? I'm going to go get my car anyway. We're going to zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And up until now, she was like, help, help.
Yeah.
Someone's after me, help, help. But all of a sudden, she has someone there to help.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know how to talk anymore.
Oh.
And yeah, again, she talks like she needs a nap in the kindergarten.
So Buddy locks the thing and he's unlocking it and he gets hit in the back with an axe.
Boring kill.
Yeah, it's dull.
Yeah.
I found this quite funny because the shack has a big metal gate and a big metal lock. And apparently it's made out of cardboard because Mike Myers then just smashes all the walls in with an axe.
Mike Myers is basically a Hulk at this point. And
Yeah. And then, oh my god, he's going to get her, he's finally getting her. And then she wakes up.
Yeah.
Bullshit. And then the film starts.
25 minutes in.
Everything from this point, to me, looked like a cheap music video.
Oh, even before that, I would say.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the hospital just looked like a set, but a bad one. It's just all cheap and nasty. I think because in the first bit, there's lots of close-ups of injuries and stuff, and that looks okay, mostly. So maybe that it give you the illusion that it looks good, but it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah, not just a cheap music video as in it's cheaply made, but they're wearing a flannel shirt and jeans with holes in them, and you expect a song to break out at any moment because you got teens rocking out. And
yeah, I've got so many notes about background stuff, and there's just so many weird things because I don't know, Rob Zombie was the set designer as well, I suppose, or something.
Yeah,
it's just he put all this weird shit. It doesn't matter if they fit the character.
Nope.
It's just cool and awesome and edgy, and it says fuck. Oh, so cool. Can I list some of my favorites?
Yeah, please.
Because they I don't know what else to put them in because they show up randomly. Well, the biggest one is the one that bugged me was the Charles Manson poster. She has a giant Charles Manson poster where she sleeps. PTSD riddled survivor of a serial killer has a Charles Manson poster, a giant Charles Manson poster. No way.
Yeah, and it's like you say, it's just edgies for edgy's sake.
Yeah.
It really is you took a early 2000s new metal rock video and I'm going to do a Halloween film on this set.
Yeah. Even to the point where the actress had half Rasta bangs.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
Unwashed hair.
Yeah.
And yeah, the mirror said, wake the fuck up.
Wake the fuck up. And there was a standard kind of eye test that said fuck this fucking shit. It reminds me when I was a teenager, I had the sticker on my wall that said fuck this fucking shit, and I thought it was so cool. But Rob Zombie is 39 years old and thinks it's so cool. Tell me if you remember this.
Go on.
So these are just random set design and notes. Uncle meets Java Hole.
Wasn't that the coffee place?
It was. So Uncle meets Java Hole. Would you go to that place? Would you go to a place called Uncle meets Java Hole?
I probably wouldn't, but I really liked the coffee cup outside that
Yeah.
was like steaming.
Was it?
Did you see that? Yeah.
No, I was too confused about the name. I was like, what the fuck? Why is it called Meat? Jesus in the toilet. So there's like edgy shit everywhere, and then in the toilet, all of a sudden there's a little typical, what you say in the grandma's house, because of reasons.
Yep.
This is, again, I don't know where to fit this in. It could come up actually now because we hear teenagers talking, and this is like a 65-year-old man who wrote this dialogue for teenagers.
Oh god, it's ridiculous. Are you talking about the two Coolio Pisculio?
No, actually, my favorite one was, I don't know if you noticed this, but a teenager girl in 2009 references Kojak. He called someone a policeman Kojak. Fucking, I barely remember Kojak. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's the scene where they're going to the party.
Yeah,
That's-
totally tubular, bro.
Yeah, genuinely.
Damns the brakes.
This is genuine dialogue from the film. So one of the friends is trying to get Laurie to go to the party, and another friend comes in, and the girl genuinely says, "Friend two, can you tell Laurie that to go to this totally rad costume party, she's being too coolio for schoolio." That is genuine dialogue.
Yeah. I forgot that whole thing. 65-year-old man who wrote this. I'm telling you. And then, yeah, speaking of the kind of cheapness of the design, just little things like the late night place. You notice how cheap and shit that looked?
Oh, you mean the show?
Yeah, the show.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It looked like, it looks so cheap and nasty and shit. And they just had what looked like cardboard cutouts of the title of the show, which they didn't even need to do. It's like, yeah, late night, whatever. And it's just badly cut out. And it was a tiny room. And they just put some cardboard boxes in the background. And I'm like, why? That's what entertained me throughout the film, just watching all the background, edgy, cool stuff.
Here's a pointless scene.
Which one?
And again, it's filler, and it's stupid, and it's pointless. It's Mike Myers goes to a strip club.
Oh, yeah. I guess it was on the way. First we see him, he looks like fucking evil Santa. You know how like when they did X, the movie X, because they had some extra time, they filmed another movie, Pearl, I think. They should have done like an evil Santa movie on the downtime of this movie. Because he looks like an evil Santa without the Mike Myers mask on. Yeah, he was going through like the fields and stuff for a long time. And I imagine those kind of nasty strip clubs are just outskirts of a town. So it kind of made sense to me in that way. And we have to see boobs.
It introduces characters, just like these three people in a strip club.
Yeah, to be
It's like
killed.
the owner, the henchman, and the stripper.
Yeah.
It all goes on way too long. The henchman goes out to the car park, and then he talks to Mike Myers for what seems like a good 3-4 minutes. And then he dies.
Mm-hmm.
And he kills the guy.
It's probably the best kill. But even still, that was lame. He just stomps his head. They should have put the pottery break sound effect in there too.
And then Mike Myers goes inside and kills the people inside. And
Yeah.
then that's the end of it. And you never hear or see from them ever again. Doesn't come up in police reports or anything. Just that happened.
Halloween 2, that happened. Can we talk about Malcolm McDowell?
Who that?
Well, he is Loomis. He is the guy who's trying to sell the book.
Okay.
Basically, in the original movies, he's the psychologist of Mike Myers, who's also helping with the investigation all the time. Malcolm McDowell, an interesting thing in this movie is that, so he said yes to having sex on camera in The Clockwork Orange, said yes to putting flowers in men's anuses in Caligula, but he said no to acting in this movie. That was his red line. It's like,
But he's in this movie.
yeah, but he doesn't act. Well, not really. He's
Okay.
shit. He's kind of overacts, but not even trying too hard. He's not good.
This whole film's poor.
Yeah.
And it just didn't stand out to me as anything. He's a higher class of actor
Yeah.
than this film deserves. But I think if he came in and he did like his best, you ain't saving this film.
But still, could have been something. More and more people put effort in it, Maybe it's something, I don't know. That's what you call a movie at the end.
Yeah, so he's a dick in this film.
An annoying dick.
An annoying dick. The woman that he's with, I don't think he ever says her name. Who is she? Never explains it.
Assistant.
I thought it was kind of like a publicist.
But then it's interesting because basically the main conflict, if you want to call that, dynamic, yeah, is he's selling this book of what happened in the first movie, and he's kind of selling out.
Yeah.
But what the assistant or / publicist says is that you're selling out too hard. This is too much, and then you're using people who died. And he's going like, no, we need to go further. Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we following him then? Like, why do we care?
Yeah.
Because he's just a dick.
He is a dick. At one point, he turns around to his assistant and says, when I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you.
Nice.
At that point, you just hope he dies.
Did we mention when he kills some hillbillies as well? Michael Myers.
No, we didn't.
So he kills some hillbillies. Again, it's just an unconnected scene with nothing. The hillbillies have a dog. And
oh, yeah.
he clings his knife on the dog cage, who was barking until now. And then the dog starts whining. Like the dog understands a knife threat. How stupid is that? And then he kills the dog and starts eating the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's intercut with the Strode / police family.
Yep.
Eating pizza and talking about eating meat, like being a vegan.
Yep.
Because allegory, because metaphor. Is there something there that isn't there?
I didn't.
It doesn't make any sense.
And I got this kind of vibe that they were supposed to be connected in some way, because as he's eating the dog, she throws up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the idea is like, she's like, oh, I hope some of your rotted flesh didn't get on my lovely cheese pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And then she throws up, and I think the idea is that on her side of it, oh no, she ate meat and it's made her sick. But actually they're connected.
I don't know. It's just, I could imagine something in there, but I would have to reach so far. I have to think about it way more than the filmmakers did, so I don't want to.
So she reads the book.
Yeah.
Turns out she is Mike Myers' sister.
Engel Myers.
Yeah. Do you know they changed the name? It was like Valerie Myers in the original, and in this, they changed it to Angel to kind of make it show that she's the opposite of Michael.
Okay.
Because she's Angel.
Again, I thought it was smarter than that. Because I thought they're going to go like Michael Angelo.
Okay.
And I don't know what that means, but I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool choice. So you have two kids. One is like, there's Jonathan. And then there's Angel, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's such a weird... It's not a rational, conventional name choice. Either have two common names or two weird names.
Yeah.
It's Michelangelo. Something, God.
Yeah, no, it's because she's the angel. And he's the devil. Or he's the demon. That's the really clever.
Is that the deep allegory that Michael Myers is bad? Is that the allegory? Is that the takeaway from this movie?
That's the life lesson.
I didn't know until I realized that she's called Angel. That's when I realized Michael Myers is bad, actually.
So she finds out she's his sister.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh no, I'm the sister. I'm really upset. This is the most upset I've ever been in my entire life. Oh, party. Yeah, let's go party. It sounds fun.
That part was realistic to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, because, want to fill your shitty life with partying, yeah. She was getting drunk with them as they were talking about it. And she was already drunk, and they said, I want to get more drunk. It's fine, my life is shitty. I just don't get it why she cared at all. I mean, maybe the part that it was in the book and it was publicized. That's not great. But, like, she wasn't sad about that. She was sad about being Michael Myers' sister. But, like, does it really matter? It would be a shock. But does it really matter in a way where I'd go, like, I'm his sister? Like, it only makes sense that way if you go, like, he's the devil.
His nature is to be a psychopath. So if you're related to that, how much of that is in your nature?
Well, that didn't come across at all. So
Mike Myers goes to the party. He's having a whale of a time, He's gone to the strip club. Now he's down at a teenage party. He's life and soul of the town.
Is this where the Nightmare Before Christmas segment happens?
Yeah.
That was the only cool part I liked.
Yeah, that was-
Visually, again, had nothing to do with anything. It's kind of Tim Burton on crack visuals.
Friend number 2 goes to the van with the guy, and she keeps talking about her costume like it's so clever. She keeps saying that she's a woman dressed as a man who's dressed as a woman.
She was dressed as, you know, the
Rocky Horror Picture
Rocky
Show.
Horror
Yeah.
Picture Show, Tim Curry's character. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
it was a very good costume.
Yeah, it's
You have
pretty
to,
good.
yeah, you have to.
But yeah, I don't know why it was a big deal.
And this is where I noticed it, because she dies, obviously.
Yeah.
Shocker. She dies in the van with Michael Cera. I'm convinced that's Michael Cera.
Wouldn't be funny because the guy is in the costume the whole time.
Yeah, it's probably not him, but he's very kind of, imagine his voice, and that's
whiny,
the voice.
yeah.
Whiny.
Okay.
It's very kind of like, it's got a constant tone though.
Yeah.
But they do a thing in this that I think they do for the entire film, but this is where it started to really, I noticed it and it grated on me.
Killing.
Yeah. But like, as their person is dying, the film like slows down and goes quiet, goes into kind of like a slow-mo.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice that?
Well, I noticed there was slow-mo. It was bad slow-mo.
Yeah.
Because it was not shot in a higher rate. Quick explanation. So there's 24 frames a second. There's 24 images, and that's your moving picture. If you want to shoot a slow-mo scene, you need to increase that.
Yeah.
To 30, 35,
If you want
60.
if you want to do a half-time slow-mo, you need to film 48 frames a second,
Yes.
so that it looks normal.
It looked like it was just 24 frames a second, slowed down, so it's jittery.
Yeah.
And shit.
Yeah. Every time someone dies, that happens.
Yeah. So you know how like Michael Myers teleports from the field to the strip club to the party? I was thinking it would be funny if they do like a Indiana Jones map sequence and there's like a little Michael Myers mask. Like strip club party. And that could be like a cool like transition, you know.
We should re-edit this film.
Pottery sound effects of Michael Myers transitions. Oh yeah, I forgot one of my set design notes. I wrote down even the shower curtain has coals.
Yeah.
Because of course it does.
Cool. So, teleport.
Yeah.
Laurie's house. So, yeah, teleport to Laurie's house, because Michael Myers was just at the party, but then he turns up outside the house, and he kills the cop, despite the cop having a shotgun, and he kills Annie. Annie is not okay.
That's one of the most confusing kills, because we don't see how she get hurt, and then the set design were horrible, because there was blood dripping from the top of the walls.
Yeah.
And she was somehow still alive.
Well, that was the thing, like, she come back, and she's like, Annie, 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 oh my god, wake up, Annie, Annie. And I'm like, Annie's fucking dead, love. Look around you, there's blood, it's on the walls, it's on the ceiling, it's on the mirrors, it's on the floor, there's like a pool of it on the floor.
Yeah, it looked like the aftermath of the Shining blood elevator.
Yeah. And did you see the bathtub as well?
Yeah.
The bath was full, and it looked like it had blood all over it.
And she was like,
Oh, yeah.
And then, but at the same time, she was like, not like holding her stomach or nothing. Like, where was she cut?
Yeah.
I don't understand. She was like, and dies. Well, it's convenient for the movie. From extreme blood loss. Extreme.
And then probably the most pointless death in the film, even though there's so many deaths in this, completely unconnected to the actual story and never come up again. The most pointless is friend number 1. Because Laurie's upstairs. Annie, you okay? No.
Look at the walls.
Yeah. And then downstairs, Michael Myers kills friend number 1.
Yeah.
And at no point does Laurie give a shit or do anything about it. She's like, friend number 1, you okay? Annie, you okay? No, they're not. Look around you, dick. And again, it's her house. She goes all around the house trying to get into these rooms. It's your house. How do you not know how to get around your house?
And she runs out, and all of a sudden she's in like a field in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I don't know, we don't really see the outskirts of the house, but it felt like it might have been in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Why don't you run into more of the suburbs with more people? Why are you running out into the field of nothingness? And then finds a guy again. Like that's when I really noticed it. When it goes like, help me, I'm getting there's a killer after me. And then the guy is like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? I forgot how to talk.
I'm being attacked. Let's get in the car and drive. Quick as we can. Nope.
You could talk 20 seconds earlier. Why can't you talk now? It's really annoying.
So I think he kills the guy.
Yeah.
The guy that picks her up. And then she's hiding in the car. And then...
Yeah,
he lifts the
car.
car. He lifts the car.
He is the Hulk.
Bullshit.
Well, yeah.
He lifts the car and throws it down a hill. It rolls over. And she's in the car and she's unconscious. And it catches fire.
Yeah, because of course it does.
Yeah, why not? And again, that doesn't come up.
It's from the friction, the static electricity they produced. I don't know.
It does nothing for the film. It's not like they find the car burnt out later and it leads to something.
They should have done like a explosion jumping scene. It explodes and they jump away. Whoa!
So she gets kidnapped by Mike Myers and takes him to like a shack.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. My favorite bit about that is the police chief, because he's Annie's dad and he's tending to his daughter, and the police guy comes up, like one of the other ones, like, oh my god, chief, we found a car out on Highway 4. Witnesses say that Laurie got kidnapped and then they headed north and now they're in a shack in the woods. Who saw that?
Yeah. Why didn't they help?
Exactly.
Dick.
There's just some guy that's seen all that happen and then just gone to McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like halfway through his burger. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to go.
Please explain to me why the words "I love you, mummy" are in the end of this film. She finds out her sister and then she meets the ghost of her dead mum.
Yeah. That's why I don't understand. So because so far I thought that the dead mom was a vision.
Yeah, that Michael Myers was having.
So they're now sharing the vision?
Yeah.
Okay. If it was done better, I could have liked that scene in a way where kind of weird idea of like, yeah, you meet your real mother and it's very imposing figure and just say, I love you, mommy. It's like creepy.
It is creepy because it starts creepy, like she forced to say it, but then she keeps saying it over and over again quite voluntarily.
Yeah, that was the dumb part.
Yeah.
But it would have been like a good, like, submissive, I own you, bitch, kind of horror moment.
What could have been?
Yeah, I don't know. And that whole character change is, I guess she's the new Michael Myers, which is the twist at every one of these movies, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Is Paul Rudd is supposed to be the new Michael Myers, the kid's supposed to be the new Michael Myers. It's always the same. It's always the same. Anyway, my favorite part, Malcolm McDowell shows up, who's changed his mind and he wants to help. Or at least he wants to show that he's not just a fucking sellout asshole, that he can help.
Just by spending the rest of the film being a sellout asshole with no redemption.
Yeah.
Like you say, if the publicist forced him into these things and then he's like, no, I'm not listening to you anymore. I'm going to be the good guy. But no, he actively seeks out being a dick all the time.
Almost an easy fix in the script. You just change the names. And he shows up, oh, I want to help. And he's like, world famous psychologist. And he's like, I can draw him out. The first thing that happens is, which was also funny, they try to restrain him, and he's like, I can walk. And he just does a quick one, sneaks into, anyway, 85-year-old.
I was about to say, he's a spry young man.
Yeah.
What you mean?
It was like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I can draw him out. I'm a world-famous psychologist. And I was like expecting, like, wow, he's going to say some really, like, mind-twisty thing. He's going to be like, here's what I expected him to do. I expected him to go like, Michael, that's your mother.
But Laurie.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever. I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm saying that's what I expected. It's like some sort of psychological...
I expected it to be, Michael, I'm your father.
Yeah, that could be as well. But I felt like because the mother imagery was there, could have been more powerful. But anyway, none of that happens.
No.
So because Laurie is like hallucinating that the young Michael Myers is holding her and the mom is there, as a psychologist, he goes, they're not real! They're not real! That was your plan? That was your whole plan to go. Anyone could do that. That's what you bring to the table after watching your bullshit for an hour. They're not real.
The best bit about it is he walks into the shack, turns his back to Michael Myers. It's like, they're not real.
Well, what did you expect to happen? One idiot, world famous psychologist. They're not real. They're not real. I can do this. I know all the smarts. I know all the brain smarts. They're not real. They're not real. He should have shaken them. But what did he expect to happen?
Yeah.
She goes like, oh yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
I'll watch out behind you.
Yeah. It's just so stupid that all led up to this. It's just we watched this guy for like, I don't know, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
This is half the movie. And it's all led up to this. This very clever ending.
But it worked. He moved Michael Myers into the sniper range.
By accident.
Yeah. Whilst he was being stabbed to death.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he meant. I can be the meat shield.
Yeah, then he dies, and then she's lies down, and despite, hating him for the whole film, she's like, I love you, brother. And then she takes off his mask, and then for some reason, like surrounded by police, shooters, snipers, she walks out of the hut wearing his mask.
Yeah, that's very smart. Because she's the new Michael Myers now.
Yeah, but that's not clear enough in that scene, so then you have to have a whole other scene afterwards of her in a mental institution.
You have to rip off Psycho. It was so rip-off-ish. If they did the skull thing, I wouldn't be surprised. It's at the end when they restrain the guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
And he's like that, doing that looking down smile. You know, the Kubrick smile. Some people call it. There's a frame where a skull flashes on his face.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's exactly the same thing happens here, pretty much. It's just that look and slow zoom in. So we're going to watch Halloween 3 where this girl is a killer. Except if they actually did like a sequel to this, they would definitely just resurrect Michael Myers.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
And again, it would end with someone else like, no, he did the killer. What a stupid fucking franchise. It should have been 2 films. It never needed any of this bullshit.
14 Halloweens.
Because they run out of words to describe how to reboot the franchise. The Halloween franchise. They're doing a creative retooling of Halloween again.
I think if you do things well, then there's room for everything.
Sure, but it's not about that. It's about the money.
Or if you move with the times. You look at like Bond films.
You mean rip off whatever's popular?
Pretty much, yeah. But like that's what you need to do. You need to take like the elements of those films and make them these films.
That also cheapens in a way.
It does, but just keeps it going in an interesting way. Everything moves with the times, and if you're trying to make a rip-off of an 80s film, you're never going to accomplish it. It's a lesser example, but you can't make Commando now because it's just there's no audience for that anymore. If you were doing that, you would end up making Extraction, or John Wick. Take what people consider to be like really good horror. Your Hereditaries. You make Halloween in the style of those films.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Halloween. We'll take off Halloween from the franchises list because we picked out Halloween.
We have to take one off the franchise list every time we...
Yeah.
And then that will leave us with one, and then we go back to all of them again.
Yay.
Eventually, we will be watching another Halloween at some point.
I want to watch the Busta Rhymes one with the webcams. Are we going to talk about the stakes for the quiz?
Stakes?
Yeah.
What are the stakes for the quiz? I don't even know.
No?
No.
It's like last time. We make each other watch a movie.
Yeah, no vetoes allowed.
You said something quite interesting the other day.
Yeah?
That I've got on recording.
Right.
It was in our unpopular movies we don't like episode. You said this. Got in the clip.
But you have to tell me what it is.
Oh, okay. You said that you'd only watch this movie if you lost in a quiz. You would not. You'd veto it if I say let's watch this movie.
Okay, what movie is it?
Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh god.
I was too nice to you for giving you Quigley. I was too nice to you, and you were awful horrible to me.
I think
for
Quigley
me.
is on the same level as Adam Sandler.
No way.
Definitely.
No, Freddy Got Fingered is on the same level of Adam Sandler.
I feel like if you're going Freddy Got Fingered, I gotta find something worse.
You haven't seen Quigley. You would have loved it.
No,
It's a
that's
wonderful
not- that's
family
not
film.
true.
Do you have one top of your head?
I don't, but I'm gonna do some real research.
Okay.
Even if it means watching something I hate. We're gonna suffer together.
I really suffered through that fucking Little Nicky movie. Remember, the subtitle was "Then turns into a black hole of despair."
Thank you for subscribing to our Patreon.
Yeah.
As always, it's massively appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. you can hear the gratitude in Dan's voice.
I'm tired. This movie was stupid. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Hopefully see you next time.
See you next time when we watch Freddy Got Fingered.
Nope. Yeah, next time for quizzes.
Quiz. Star Wars quiz, and you doing stupid movie quiz, stupid action movie quiz.
Okay.
That was something like that. I don't... Something like that.
Yep.
Bye.
Peace.